everybody. Welcome to the fifth episode of our GPSC webinars. I welcome all of you. I hope you have been learning a lot in our previous webinars, and today also is going to be great learning. We have got two great speakers with us to make this afternoon fruitful and educative. Professor Marmar Mukhopadhyay, Chairman ETMA Council and Member ETMA Trust, former Professor and Director, NEPA, and Chairman of National Open Schools, now NIOS, Chairman of CAPE, the Subcommittee on Universalization of Secondary Education, consulted by UNICEF, UNESCO, USAID, British Council, Commonwealth of Learning, ISRO, NIT, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, etc. Professor Mukhopadhyay is a reputed trainer of educational personnel, trained senior educational administrators and teachers from India and abroad. A reputed author, his books on leadership, total quality management in education, quality management in higher education enjoy global leadership. In fact, most of us in Gurgaon have got this opportunity of listening to Sir, and our teachers also have been undergoing training under him. I also welcome Dr. Subhash Chandar. Dr. Subhash Chandar is currently teaching at Department of Education, CIE, University of Delhi. He has done his PhD on inclusive education from CIE, University of Delhi. His area of research and teaching includes science education, inclusive education, and educational technology. He is also engaged with research projects sponsored by the University of Delhi, ETMA, MHRD. He is a council member of ETMA, which works in the field of education in different capacities. He is member of various committees in NCERT, CBSE, NCTE, and iOS. Apart from being editor of journal taken out by CBSE, he was the convener of the textbook on human rights and gender studies for classes 11th and 12th of CBSE. He has presented papers nationally and internationally. He has also published books titled Teaching Science to Learners with Visual Impairment, Teacher Education in the 21st Century. His research papers are published in national and international journals. Recently, his book with copyright and publication of ETMA has been published. The title of the book is Science of Parenting Preschoolers, authored by Dr. Subhash Chandar and Dr. Shweta Rathore Singh. In fact, Dr. Subhash will be talking about his book today. I also welcome the two moderators, Dr. Indu Khetrapal and Ms. Charu Maini. Dr. Khetrapal is one of the founder members of GPSC Gurgaon and also Salwan Public School Gurgaon. Currently, she is heading Salwan Public School at Rajendra Nagar. Ma'am, last week also you were with us, and thank you so much for coming forward and getting such good speakers to our forum. I welcome Charu. Charu is principal of DAV Public School Sector 49 Gurgaon. Thank you, Charu, for being with us and coordinating for the session and moderating it today. I hand over the mic to Dr. Khetrapal to carry on with the proceedings of the day.
Dr. Khetrapal.
Dr. Khetrapal, yeah. Dr. Khetrapal.
Please unmute yourself.
Hanji, ma'am, please, you can start.
No,
Ma'am, you're visible now.
yeah, can I be heard?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes,
you are
ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the fifth of our webinar series. A lot of effort is going into it. And today is, I'm very excited about today's webinar. Professor Mukhopadhyay, he's done a number of programs for us and well known. I just want to share with you, I first met him in 1995 when I was doing my PhD. And today it's 2020, 25 years to be in touch with your teacher, a teacher who is showing you the way. I think that is the lesson for us to learn. Students come, students go, but how many of them remain in touch and want us to mentor them, to guide them? I think that is the biggest lesson from this webinar. Even after 20 years or 25 years, I still seek his guidance in terms of my professional development and so on. And talking about Dr. Subhash Chandra, yes, I met him, of course, through ETMA, and highly qualified, but very humane, humble, and always willing to help. I think that is what I can say about him. We've done this program. The topic for today is school-based online education. Everyone is talking about online education. The future is online. And online education for an unknown and uncertain future. Everyone is talking about it and what should be done. Few years back, I should say about 5 years back, we did one program. In fact, Sir Professor Mukhopadhyay, he conceptualized it, and Dr. Subhash, then he implemented it. And we were 5-6 schools where it was tried and tested and very successful. And now again, it has been, I should say that a book, also, it was only a CD at that point of time, but now a book has also been brought out. And I think worth trying. Just very briefly, what we are talking today, Professor Mukhopadhyay and his team were doing it much earlier. Usually parents are very anxious and stressed and want to know, when the child joins school, what are we supposed to do? They want to know a few things. And so we did this so one session was held with all the parents. And after that topic was given, it was discussed online, and then parents shared their feedback online. So a lot of sharing was being done and discussion being done. So what we are doing now, I think Sir did that 5 years back. And I think that DVD was shared with everyone, with all GPSC schools, I think so. And now Dr. Subhash and Shweta Singh, who is now with CBSE, they have brought out this book on parenting, the science of parenting. And yes, it is a science. It is not, you have to take parenting very seriously. So they brought out this beautiful book. And I would suggest that go through the book and the DVD and do try it in your school. It's worth the effort, not only at the primary level, then different at the middle level and senior secondary level. You're in touch with the parents, everyone sharing their concerns and then learning from that. I stop at this point, and I'll request Sir to share with us, because everyone says that the future is online, but there are a lot of issues involved. Child online safety, that is number one. Teacher professionalism. Teachers are criticized that they are not updated, not professional, and even after their classes, again, there's a lot of criticism. So that Sir will discuss. And finally, take responsibility for the online education, otherwise there will be consequences. Take responsibility for the online education. Each school has to take the responsibility, otherwise there will be consequences. And I invite Sir, Professor Mukhopadhyay, to please share with us about this topic. Once again, a warm welcome, sir. Yes, Aarti, is that fine?
Yes, ma'am. Sir is about to start. Charu, ma'am? Yeah. Request Sir to please start.
Actually, I think the IT team is in contact with him and he's facing some glitches. So in the meantime, Indu ma'am, can we start with
Subhash, sir.
Indu ma'am, you are muted.
Intu ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'll request Dr. Subhash Chandra to please start. Everyone wants to hear both of them.
Yeah.
Namaskar, all of you. By the time I think Sir will solve the technical glitches, I think I will share what I wanted to share with all of you. First of all, thank you to the GPSC group for inviting us and sharing our views related to this very important topic, and also to talk about the book which we have published. So, school-based online education uh, has has been at the forefront since last few months, and today I'm going to talk about the parents' view also and the kind of challenges they face. And apart from that, then I will mainly also talk about our book which we have launched, Science of Parenting Preschoolers. So, as a school, as teachers, as citizens, as human beings, uh, a child is a collective responsibility. I think this is something which all of us agree. And every child deserves best. This is what we, always talk about. And when we are in school, we give our whole energy towards building future of that child. And we know that basically it is not just the child's innate capacities which we try to nurture in our school by giving an appropriate environment. It is the home environment also which influences the child, and how parents are helping the child or nurturing the child. It is a very important factor in bringing out the best in that child. So parenting is a very important area which we have realized since long. And if you talk about the present situation, everybody is very anxious. Parents are also very anxious. They have been, in fact, most anxious lot when kids are young and when they join school. But all of us know that why we feel anxious, because there is a lot of uncertainty. There is loss of control over things, and it, you know it's an example I'm taking that the present pandemic is also an example of some unexplored territory, and this anxiety with parents related, there are so many things they are concerned about. Just like an anxiety which they faced when they first sent their child to school, and now when there is this online learning, and schools are engaging children with this platform, parents are also anxious. Apart from that, the social and emotional aspect of the child which is being impacted in present time is also very is a matter of concern for parents. So ultimately, it's the parents who are taking a lot of decisions. The point is that, are they informed? Are they taking informed decisions? uh, because their choices in present influence kids tomorrow. And majority of the times when parents take decision, it is from their experience with others. And if it is the first child, it is majority of times a lot of experiments which are there. And with technology now, a lot of internet resources which are majority of the times not so authentic. They use these kind of resources for taking their decisions, and they have some guidance but this guidance is not appropriate. So there is a possibility that their decisions which they take for their kids may not be very well informed and may be inappropriate in future. So there are a lot of studies which are done internationally, especially, if you'll say studies related to done by UNICEF, point that majority of the young parents take a lot of courses uh, from authentic sources and during their this journey of parenting, especially during their initial years. And understanding this challenge, uh, I think many years back, Professor Mukhopadhyay visualized this challenge and guided the team to work towards a course on parenting, which was for preschoolers at that time. And this course was developed by ATMA. ATMA as an organization works in different areas. I think many of the teachers here will know about ATMA's work. So we work in different areas with different experts in ATMA. So this course was developed to enable parents to make informed choices, so that this guidance helps them to take decisions which will help students, learners, to be better. And this course was designed by a lot of experts with help with of course from guidance from Professor Mukhopadhyay. And we implemented this course in different schools, and in Salwan Public School we had wonderful experience of having this course with almost more than 50 parents. And as this course was developed with help of a lot of research which was done and authenticated by experts, there were a lot of child psychologists, pediatricians even, who were involved in developing this course. So this course was implemented with the parents. Basically, there were 6 modules, and these 6 modules are now presented in this book as 6 chapters. I will come back to the book. So these, when you talk about child development, we are talking about different areas, and these different areas have very important impact on the child, because these are the main areas: physical development, health and hygiene, language development, intellectual development, social and emotional development, and morals and values. So we researched on these areas with help of our team, and developed a lot of messages, and from there we filtered, validated information, messages, tried out with parents, and then this course was implemented. So you can see some of the questions which we have tried in different areas. I will address, and then these workshops were taken with parents. And this is just a glimpse of one of the workshops where we called different experts, and they help the parents deal with the further queries and their challenges which they are facing day to day in their day-to-day life. So based on our experience, we realized that we need to reach out to a larger population, because we are a very limited number of individuals involved in this work. And so we thought that it's important. Professor Mukhopadhyay thought that we should reach out to a larger audience, because it's a very important area. So this book was conceptualized by Professor Mukhopadhyay, and based on those 6 modules, we worked on this book. So this book has basically 6 chapters: Science of Parenting Preschoolers. these 6 chapters are based on the 6 modules which I discussed earlier, and we discussed different areas. I will take one of the areas. It's very important concern because it's related to that. I'm coming to the topic which we discussed. Now, so this is one of the areas, one of the questions. I've taken a part from the book. When we talk about this query which parents generally have: my child enjoys video games and computers. What precautions should I take concerning these? Now, parents right now have their concern related to screen time also. They have concern about what kind of material kids are watching on television, on mobile phones. Because the exposure has increased manifold in last few years. So we researched on it, and we talked to the experts, and we talked to doctors also. We talked to psychiatrists, psychologists also, and saw what kind of balance can be created. And then we responded to these kind of queries in our book. So if we talk about advantages and disadvantages of video games and computer, definitely there are a lot of positives, and then there are a lot of negatives also which can be there. So there is a balanced approach which is very important on part of parents as well as teachers. So how much students should be engaged with technology has to be balanced with its benefit. One. Second, what kind of exposure we are giving to the child. We need to have a dialogue with the child, what the child is uh, you know going through. So even half an hour of screen time can be very dangerous if the child is going through something which may prove to be dangerous. If the child is going through something like, we have a lot of examples like blue whale, etc., games which are harmful. But then if we engage the child with something which is exciting, which actually it is, because why children are more engaged with gadgets and technologies, because there is an innate satisfaction which they derive from these things. There is a lot of the way these games are built, the way uh, the material which is available online are built, they intrigue them, and this involvement which they get needs to be definitely explored, and they need to be engaged properly in such programs. So definitely we need to restrict their time, but with dialogue with the students, and we have to give you know proper attention to what they are watching, how they are watching, because even physical posturing also is very important. If we see, when I observe around ourselves, our kids are, using these devices with postures which are not appropriate for their development. Their bones are so in such a condition that they may develop issues very early in their life. So these are some of the things which are discussed there, and there are total 6 chapters in the book which we have written, and they deal with different issues, social and emotional issues, intellectual development related issues, language and possibilities related to these areas also, because all these areas are very relevant in present day. So we have tried to address, and we have tried to be more genuine with the context of the parents, because it is very important that the kind of messages, the questions which we address are actually embedded in our context. Majority of the times, the
Hello?
material which is available is
Hello?
yes, sir, you are audible now.
I can hear, okay, I can hear Suhas on my earphone.
Yes,
And
sir. I
Suhas,
was.
okay, all right.
Yes, yes. I will just complete
All right.
in 2-3 minutes. I was.
ठीक है, let him finish. Yeah.
Yes, sure, sir. So, with uh, with this message, basically, we have tried to reach out to a larger audience with this book on science of parenting preschoolers. Because there are 2-3 things in this title which
Hello?
I would like to address. One is that we are talking about preschoolers because this is one of the most important areas uh, age also which we feel is there.
अभी अगर इससे मेरा आवाज जा रहा है तो इसी में रहने दो. हाँ, मुझे उसका वॉइस आ रहा है. I think he is also able to listen.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are able to hear.
Yeah, they are able
Yes,
to hear
yes,
me.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
Okay, right.
Yes. Okay, so I think I have discussed majority of the things which I wanted to say about the book. We all of us are eager to hear Professor Mukhopadhyay, and now he's audible also. So I think later on we can take some questions if the audience want to ask some questions.
Hey, why don't you take the question right now so that it is पढ़ाते हो immediate feedback, करते हो delayed feedback.
as the organizers say.
Just come in the mood of listening and understanding and getting into it. So we would like that
I have heard all of you. You have not heard me. I was able to hear all of you. So I'm there with them from the beginning. Yeah. I think let Suhas take the questions because it is immediate, so it will be fresh.
So there are not many questions as of now in the chat box. So I can ask from my side, but I think people would like to hear you, and then they will collate the whole thing, and they'll come back to you with the questions to both of you. What does Dr. Khetrapal say?
That's fine. That's perfect.
So, Dr. Subhash very rightly said that we have to take care of the well-being and the physical being of the child when the child is there on the screen. So, and you actually said that the kind of platforms the child visits, we have to be really wary of, and we have to be vigilant as parents that what to do. So does your book also talk about what platforms and what kind of child locks, etc., to be put on the screen, etc.? Does the book also talk about that? How do we go?
See, actually, with technology, I think all of us know that technology is exponentially growing. Every 18 months, as Professor Mukhopadhyay says, that every 18 months, the technology is doubled. And this is true with the kind of resources which are available also. So rather talking about generalized specific resources, we are talking about the science behind it. So the science behind it says that they should be engaged with more positive things, and what kind of engagement should be there. So it should not be addictive. So it should be constructive. And there are a lot of constructive games, and there are a lot of constructive ideas which can help the students be more creative with their online
Very
engagement also. Yes.
Constructive and productive screens.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So we have.
I would like to welcome Professor Mukhopadhyay once again. And I remember way back in 2016, he is the one who introduced us to flip learning. I didn't know about all these things. And because we learned flip learning from you, sir, so well, my teachers, my team, we all worked with you. That's the reason that now when during this lockdown time, we hardly took one day to start off. and we picked off because you had prepared us so well. So I would say that you are a true visionary. Uh, People look for visionaries, and you are the true visionary in front of us. And like nowadays, there's too much of debate in various states that whether for preschoolers we should have online classes or not. Too much of a debate going on. Supreme Court is talking about preschoolers should have online classes or not. The teachers and the education faculty and fraternity, they are saying yes, they should meet the teachers. And what is your take on this, Professor Mukhopadhyay or Professor Subhash? Anyone of you?
Thank you. Firstly, let me tell you, since all of you are much younger than me, vision comes only when the eyesight loses its power. So I get my vision at 75, 76, which you cannot expect now. You will get it when you come to my age.
No, can we?
All right. Thank you for this opportunity, because I'm meeting all of you after a very long time. I've been meeting individually once in a while somebody, but not as a group. Firstly, I think the Indian school principals have shown outstanding resilience to create a new kind of a blend. Because the schools were closed, they did not want to close the education. So there are a lot of criticism going on by the online experts that what you are saying as online education is not online education. My response to them, what I learned from my classmate doctor, when I asked him homeopathy or Ayurveda or allopathy, he said whatever works. He is an outstanding doctor, globally well-known allopathic surgeon. He said, despite I'm allopath, I'll say, whatever works is the medicine. So I think the principals have done extraordinary job of their resilience to quickly put together. You can call it jugaad, you can call any language, but fact is, things have gone on. Now, what I'm going to do, and don't get bored whenever you feel like you stop me, I'll stop there. This is called online education. It has given a good opportunity. I have written that what we, the education technology people, could not do in 30 years, Corona did in 3 days. Because dar ke mare, everybody adopted to technology. Whenever we are telling technology, he said, no, sir, isse nahi hota. Unless we speak, nothing happens. And they really believe that because you speak, nothing happens. Is the exactly reverse of it, is the truth. Now, what is important is to understand that online education is almost 40-year-old in the world. And it has gone a long distance. And I had the good fortune of evaluating one of the world's top program run by Athabasca and Commons of Learning. And since I know some of you, the principals, are very dynamic, and also now that Indu is the senior most of my students, you are very keen to buy when much better things are available free. Maybe because you have got money. Right now, Athabasca is offering a 5-week program on TELMOOC, which is actually 15-hour program, but online programs are spread over so that people can take lightly, easily. It has just started. It said TELMOOC is technology enabled learning. It's a MOOC program. Lots of students from India are taking, and I've done an analysis evaluation for them. And I've done also a case study of one of the primary school teachers. It's a very useful program. You can see whether some of your teachers can still enroll. Just go to Athabasca University, TELMOOC, TELMOOC. Coming back, the world has got the experience of online education, but that is mostly in higher education. This is one part. That is mostly for a very large number of people. Like TELMOOC has got in one batch 4,500 learners from 95 countries. And the difference is, it is planned by 5 people, but executed by only 2. There is only one tutor. His name is Nathaniel Ostowski. I conducted a workshop in Scotland last year. They all came from all over the world. They came for that workshop. It is planned by a group. It is executed by 2 or 3 people only. Now, the pedagogical component, and in this, onus of learning is on the learner. And you must be knowing that in online education or e-learning, the discontinuation rate is extremely high. I mean, my evaluation I can share with you, only 12% people complete. 88% people leave on the way. Although Coursera president told that they are actually not students, they came and just clicked. The moment they click, they get registered. After that, he never returned, but uska naam to aa gaya. Now, this is where we have to be very careful. Like I was watching some of the classes and I told the concerned principal that the senior students are not interested. They are not attending. They are saying, "Maine padha nahi." You know, without any kind of embarrassment. Younger students are very keen. I have watched a lot of videos from some of your schools. Onus is on learner. Usually they are adult or post school students. What happens to the adults and post students? Their learning style has got fixed. And they have decided to go for online. Now, at the moment, your children, it has been imposed on them because of lockdown. If they would have chosen what they have chosen themselves, they are learning. And it's very simple. In our research, it is found any student, when he or she likes something, he learns it better. And all of you, if you don't forget your student days, any teacher you liked that subject. Now we all the time talk cognitive. We don't realize that the affective domain seriously influences our cognitive power. Our liking, disliking has serious matter. Coming to the whole thing. So what you are doing is something very different, and world does not have any scientific answer to your question. Because I have seen both the sides. The pedagogical component that is there in the online education, whether Athabasca or British Open University or the German Fernstadt, pedagogical component is structured self-learning textual material. That is the main domain, not video. People don't realize it. Because video is there, that is not the main domain. Next is online video, MOOCs for 5 to 6 minutes only. And there's enough research to prove that beyond 6 minutes, the viewer switches off their mind. Video continues, but they don't see anymore. You can check it yourself. If you ask them from the first part of the video, they will be able to answer. But not beyond 6, 7, 8 minutes. They won't be able to answer because they are not seeing anymore. They don't leave. Like, for example, many of you have left from the meeting. They don't leave. They are there. They switch off the mind. Then there is a summary video, which is very important. If you see this Nathaniel's work, 40 seconds, 1 minute summary video. I've been using in my writing currently a word called finishing learning. What happens is, when, for example, one teacher goes out of your class, another teacher comes in, the mind does not have a break. If the previous teacher is a powerful communicator, say like Charu or somebody, so she leaves a trail behind. Then Bechara Subhas enters. He enters with his physics, but Charu ki economics का trail चल रहा है बच्चों में. We don't realize it, that what Subhas has to do first is to disconnect that trail. There are many techniques of disconnect, but we don't do it because the new teacher thinks I've got 35 minutes and I've got this much of content to cover. So summary video is important. Another important thing is web search. I know many of the principals are very worried about web search. Let me tell you, there's no choice. This is natural. Every one of your students do it. If you have got a young son or daughter, please check, they're all doing web search. Only difference is what are they searching? That's your problem. Web search is normal. Don't you do it? Early in the morning, I get up, I do my own walk and whatever, yoga and all. After that, all the time I'm on this web searching. Here I have to sit straight. With this, I can sit in my bed, I can comfortably watch my ear. So web search is another, games and exercises, assignments and quizzes, online mentoring and feedback. This is very important. I don't know how that gentleman in Athabasca does it, because I talk to the students. They're very surprised that that man, single person, 3,000 students. How does he give personal feedback? Unimaginable for me. I can't imagine, but he does it. Online and then discussion forum. They have the group projects. Now let us come to the school online education that you are doing. I've done case studies. I've done a case study of a school. I've done case study, not one, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done 4 case studies, some in Delhi, some in other states. We have textbook, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. I found textbook is least effectively utilized by children and the teacher. Whereas entire world depends upon textual material for online education, e-learning, not video. It's a wrong perception. Take for example, I have seen many of the textbooks. NCERT textbook is by far the best pedagogically. Highly structured, well illustrated, lot of exercises, and also they know how to print. Because people don't realize what is the effect of margin size on reading speed. Most private publishers don't give margin space because they save on the cost. Coming back, teacher made video lectures. Lot of teachers are making video. The way they teach, let me tell you, it's a sheer waste. Subhash knows my view. When the MOOCs was being developed and minister was then, Mr. Javadekar was the minister, I told the government is unnecessarily wasting money. 25-30 minutes video, nobody listens. Even Amitabh Bachchan cannot keep one person for 30 minutes if he lectures without his sciencer style. We watch Amitabh Bachchan because he's sciencer, not because of his only voice. We need to understand that. So that is a wasteful exercise which is being done. Video conferencing, I have watched many video conferencing of the schools. They are replica of the classroom. Some teachers who are serious, they are serious. Some teachers who are playful, they are playful. Those who are playful, they are able to involve the students also in a playful mood. Those teachers who are very serious, they are unfortunately not able to, because when you see face to face, your smile matters, your frown matters, everything matters. But when they know that Charu cannot do anything because she is 20 miles away from me, I'm very safe. And your grown-up students understand all that. So I've seen the grown-up students find it very difficult to concentrate on this mode. Worksheets and homeworks you are sending, mentoring and feedback. Fortunately, unlike Nathaniel, you have got so many teachers. So every teacher has got 30, 35 or maybe less students. Individual and group projects, I don't know whether you are giving. I was talking to one of my colleagues in Canada, an Indian. His son is there and it is also locked down. I said, what happens to your son? He said, sir, jaise chal raha hai, taise chal raha hai. I said, what about group project? He says, same proportion, 4:1. For every 4 individual projects, there is 1 group project. Now the group project is happening on video, on WhatsApp, on phone, but they have not changed there. So the child is, absolutely busy. Now, assessment of learning outcome, I was very surprised to see that many schools have stopped the formative assessment. Let me tell you, formative assessment, CBSE might have stopped. Ministry might have stopped. It has no sanction of education. So what happens is, when I was a school teacher or a college teacher, I said to every rule and regulation, yes, sir, but I did whatever I wanted to do. Because without the formative assessment, You do not know, student does not know how he or she is faring. So that is something extremely important. CBSE may not use that score for certification. Doesn't matter to you. You as a teacher need to know. There's a very interesting game you can try and play in during this time. Children are given red, yellow, and green small sheets of paper. So when a teacher is teaching, children are showing red. That is, they are not understanding. Children are showing yellow, not sure. Children are showing green. Then teacher is able to see, okay, so many are able showing green, means they know, and 3 are showing red. So she is asking the nearest green boy or girl to help the nearest red girl. This is a game, but fact is it's a peer group learning. What I understand from my case studies of the online education in the schools, the problems are senior students lack responsiveness. They are not responding. At least my case studies don't show that. The problem is their learning style has been fixed, established. Particularly when they come to the 9, 10, 11, 12. And students coming to your kind of school, they're extremely focused. They want great result in their board because without that, they cannot go to IITs and other such institutions. I'm taking the tea on behalf of GPSC. Reimburse kar dena. Okay, their learning style is established, but most important thing, which even the British Open University and others are facing all over the world, is the problem of isolation. Online education, students come to schools. Just say, for example, I can share with you. I was in New York State University and I did not see students. I asked the principal, where are the students? He said, they come for dating. We need to understand the seriousness of it. Your senior students have many more agenda than physics or geography or history. They are missing on all those. Some of them are great player. They are not able to play. Some of them are able to play team game, football, cricket. They are not able to play. So they're missing their life. So for them, it does not matter physics. It may matter for the teachers, but not for the students. We need to figure out, and this is what British Open University has started something called Student Hub, because they are also these isolation phenomena and non-personalization are becoming 2 major issues. So they're using learning analytics and calling up the student on phone, whichever country they are, if they find that the student is losing on the interest and performance. I was wondering what would be the online education without lockdown. Now they are feeling the compulsion. Like, for example, none of you qualify. We are not allowed to go down. I am in 7th floor. Mrs. Mukhopadhyay and I are not allowed to go down even because we are senior citizen. Now imagine, even otherwise I don't go down. But when you put me under compulsion, I feel rebellious. This is what is happening to your children. We need to understand. Junior ones, they are thrilled because everything is new for them, but they need much more hand-holding. And isolation and weak personalization can affect them on a long-term basis. We need to be careful. Teacher, despite all your claim what teachers are doing called direct instruction. You can see Rosenstein, Asubel, and others. The problem is that that conventional direct teaching format has been imported into online education. It does not work. Like, for example, I have conducted courses for many of you are participating. I can conduct 8-hour program, but I cannot do it online. Because there I've got a lot of exercises. There I've got a lot of gestures, a lot of other things that I bring in. It's not possible. What is happening is teachers are transporting their conventional classroom into online classroom. is incompatible. It doesn't happen. 30-minute video, students have already told, 5 to 6 minutes is the world average listening time. Beyond that, they don't listen. If it's a good serial, it's a different question, but then one person is not speaking, a subject. Second important problem with the teacher is that poor girl cannot monitor reading or viewing tasks. Teacher has said, tum padh lo. In the class, teacher can monitor, but online you cannot monitor. I can't monitor whether Aarti is listening to me or Mr. Achilles is listening to me. I can see they are there, but in the face-to-face, I can monitor. So teacher is poorly equipped that she cannot monitor both the viewing behavior or the reading behavior. The response to the challenge, so what can be done? It's a good opportunity for us. I mean, I always see, my teacher taught me that every crisis, look behind, there is an opportunity, which you people have done. Because it got closed, you devised a new method. I'm a researcher, so I'm seeing what is my opportunity. My opportunity is, can we create a new pedagogy of school-based online education? There is nowhere in the world this world called school-based online education. This, you, the principals, have invented it, not the expert educationists. But then we can learn, and we can come and learn from you and give a construct to it. Create alternative instructional design. What is the instructional design for online school-based education when students are not able to come? Another very important thing, unless you are able to do it, involve students in learning management. Only then you can be able to secure their involvement. Students accepting what you are telling, that is not 21st century learner. Those days are over. Those days are, mostly it was in our days, not even Subhash days, leave alone others. So how do you think you can involve students in the learning management? This is very important, not their management, but using them like you are managing entire school's learning. Train teachers on pedagogy and learning designs for school-based online education. Preparing textual learning material. Let teachers prepare textual material, even if they have the textbooks, doesn't matter. Graphic organizer. Let them learn to make MOOCs. Can they speak? For example, whichever you are teaching, you go to YouTube, you might find 1, 2, 3, 4 videos, but they are not meant for, they are not designed for your school. So when I teach people do content analysis, many people say, sir, humko to aata hai. I say, I'm not saying that you don't know, but when you do content analysis, you can check with the video which component has not been covered. That is the point for MOOCs. 5 or 6 minute teachers make that. There's nothing called hard spot. Hard spot, as I mentioned, doctors say allergy when he's not able to diagnose. It is doctors' incompetence is called allergy. Teachers' incompetence is called hard spot for students. There's no hard spot in education. And that's my 56 years of experience, whether school, college, anywhere. Question is, can they find out whether something students want to learn differently? Now, she cannot go and tell YouTube you change your video, but she can do that. So let us try whether teachers can develop their MOOCs. Please bring in web search officially. Don't allow this to go by default. Student dhoond le, no. Similarly, many people, including teachers and including professors, they ask me, sir, which website? I said, why should you go to website? I'm going to address some other. They say, sir, can you send me a photograph of yours and etc. I say, sorry, go to internet. I mean, we are all there on the internet. Why should I give you? So I told somebody who was working on the communication models, I said, I'm not going to give you any website. Because fact is, if you say governance model of communication, there will be 7 lakh. Which one should I give you? You find out yourself which one suits you. Now, I think we need to figure out how to do this, and discussion questions you must give to the students. One of the technique you can try is called pairing and grouping. Put the students into pairs. In science practical we used to have in the college, we are used to be two students. And two, they call up each other on the phone, and then put 3 such batches, they make a group of 6. So much of the learning will happen, and they will start getting involved. And the teacher, this was taught to me when I was a school teacher. I was not able to manage the class. My headmaster taught me. He said, your class does not have 30 children. It's a group of children. They always sit together. So your class has got only 5 children. So this group is the naughty group. This group is the good group. She knew every details of the class. And that has helped me all along. My submission is try these kind of new things and see what can be done. My last point is I'm developing a 25-hour course that can be offered over a period of 3 to 4 weeks. Because online course is never tight. It's equivalent to 4 days course. If any of you or your teacher wants to come for the training on face-to-face mode, it will be 4-day program. But 4-day program in online is spread over so that a teacher can take whenever she likes to take. It could be dead in the night, early in the morning. By the time the saas sasur sab khana kha ke dead gaye, she can pick up. Because you have got 90% and more are women teachers who does 2 jobs every day, unlike Subhash and me. We have only one job, khana khana or padhai karna. So I think I'm developing a course. I've already developed the course material, textual material. Now I'll be working on the video. If some of you would be interested, let me know. Then we can involve. Because let me tell you, technology-enabled learning is a necessary condition. And I have done extensive research on technology-enabled learning. Anytime technology is involved, performance of students change, improve. And what school don't allow, maximum gain comes from video and computer gaming. Parents also say, game khel raha hai. They don't know that is the best way to learn. There are worldwide research on the gaming, and that gives the maximum advantage to child in terms of cognitive development, which goes up to metacognition, and also learning. There are games in history, there are games in physics, there are games in geography. You can do that. So my submission is that you have done an extraordinary job. The crisis has been managed and managed extraordinarily well. But I'll warn you, never be satisfied, because satisfaction is your worst enemy for your excellence. To conclude, which Subhash faced with me, and then after I drafted my book, I went to the chapter and I thought this English is too good for me. So I went to plagiarism checker. कि मैंने लिखा था कहीं से copy किया. And I found no, it is not copied, it is my writing. But that dissatisfaction is extremely necessary if you want to improve. You are doing great, but that is not the best height that you have achieved. You can still go further, and you can create a model for the world. The way you people have done, nobody has even thought of it. But can you sharpen it? Can you hone it and make it to a world class so that people will learn from you? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Mukhopadhyay. You really held us with your discussion. And there are too many questions which have come up. And there people are saying that, yes, they are interested in the course that you have designed, the 4-hour course that you were just talking about. And they are interested, so they would be approaching you for this. And coming to the questions, we have Madhuri Menon, who says, whenever any assignment is given and any marks are allotted, the first thing students want to know is if the marks are going to count in the final result or not. So how
Okay.
do we do this? That they becomes, like you said, they have to become a managers in their learning designs. So she wants to know how to do this.
Well, somewhere we need to re-educate our students as well as parents also. Anita, could you find that reference Hatties had given you? There are 252 factors which affect students' performance. And one of them is, interestingly, peer grading affects influences much more than teacher rating. Now we need to introduce a lot of gaming into it. If they say, you can say it may not, but then it is necessary so that you know how far you are doing. And as long as school has the power to integrate, honestly speaking, this external examination actually is of no value. It's no consequence at all. Because tell me, all of you are very experienced teachers who, when you are teacher, not as a great principal, which student you did not know? Isn't it true that you knew every student? You may not be able to say 30 or 31, but you know this child is not. I mean, I remember my school days, which may be 50 years ago, but I still remember those students. So whether grading will be added or not is not within your range, because that CBSE will decide. And some bureaucrat will decide who has never taught a class.
Yeah.
But that's the fate that we have. But question is convincing them and involving them in a fashion of gaming, then they will do everything. But it is necessary. Unless you know how far they are going, it becomes very difficult.
Thank you, sir. I think if we involve them in projects, as you said, individual projects and group-based projects, it would be much better than just giving them assignments. So Nisha,
And also try peer group evaluation.
Peer group evaluation. Okay, sir. So there's a query from Ms. Nisha Kaushik. She wishes to ask, I want to ask, what would be the challenges and opportunities of online and blended learning pedagogy post COVID-19? We are just hopeful that it gets over soon. Good. And we are blending.
Blended learning, classical definition is combination of online education and face-to-face education. My blended learning that I've trained people is blending different learning tactics, in which online is one of the tactics. Today, no education happens without a blending. Now, future is definitely a blended learning. Online education will be there. Today, for example, Coursera and others are offering 3-hour course on diabetes management. Now, tension management, which Deepika Padukone is offering, I don't know whether some of you have taken the course. So what is important is the days are coming when we call it badge collection. Let us say a course that you are offering, there are 17 units and each unit has got, let us say 2 or 3 parts. So 34. The moment I'm able to collect 34 badges, I come to you and I say, Charu, I have collected already 34 badges, give me my certificate. So the whole learning process and educational system is undergoing dramatic change. Future is definitely online education, blended learning, and online is not all blended. All online education has blending. There's video, there is text, there is group discussion, there is assignment, there is mentoring and feedback. Blending is a concept which is there in everywhere. And this is going to be the order of the day.
Thank you, sir. So Ms. Sangeeta wants to know that what is the course you were talking about, Athabasca MOOCs. So they want...
Athabasca, who is the smart one? Is Gaurav a smart principal? Why can't you just now Google search Athabasca TELMOOC, TELMOOC.
Yeah, I wrote that.
and see whether it is open. It was, last day was 25th, 24th. But last day I got somebody admitted.
Okay.
Just see, because it's 35 days, so it 5 weeks, so it might be still open, and it's free, and very good course.
Thank you, sir.
Just web search it. You don't need any. There is a online registration.
So there's a difference of opinion that's arising, like in the sense, most of our teachers were developing their own videos. And it is an eye-opener when you say that, and yes, it is very true.
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. So then how does she blend? That's
okay. Let me tell you one thing. Since I made a lot of videos, first important step in the video is content analysis. Second step is script writing or academic note. Third step is script writing. Fourth step is video script writing. Then comes commentary. Then comes editing, and then only a video is made. If I hold on to this one and do my recording, which is mostly happening, firstly, this phone is not very powerful. It's Android. But then you must be seeing NDTV, much of the coverage is on mobile phone. But that mobile phone is not my 12,000, 15,000 phone. That's 1.5 lakhs. So important point is the video, they have to be taught. You can check with who did it. One of the principals did it. They invited a person from Pune Film Institute to train their teachers on how to make video. Because video making is not something simple. For example, I did a MOOC making in a workshop in Yelagiri Hills, but that was college teachers. For example, let us say that I have written a script. I won't present myself. I look for a good face. I mean, simple thing is, you will appreciate that those heroes, Khan heroes, are not the only heroes. We are all heroes. You are all heroines. But they have a visual appeal, which many of us don't have. So when you make the video, it is equally important to figure out, for example, when you say Amitabh Bachchan, what is the specialty? Not only height, huge bass voice. Male voice is valued for bass. He has the best. Now, when I did that one, then I told them that you write the script, but choose who has a good photogenic face, who has a good voice, good expression. I have seen many teachers, they are beautiful, but घर से उनको मना कर दिया था, मुस्कुराना मत. They are told, don't smile, be serious. I mean, what is the use of that beautiful face if the face doesn't know how to smile? And there are faces who overcome their otherwise not so beautiful just with smile. We need to understand these differences when you go to video. Video has got a lot of visual element. And I understand a little because I've done about 40 of them myself. So whole question is, see who has that appeal, who has the voice, who can do the recording. Children do a lot of good editing, which your teachers cannot do. Figure out your senior students, let them demonstrate their great mastery. I mean, right now I saw one of the videos on the Facebook of my niece. She's a teacher, but the video was edited by her son, who is in 7th grade. We need to understand the whole dynamics of it. So video, yes, video is what is happening is at CR West. Nobody is watching.
If there is some activity, something to involve, then only they will watch. Otherwise, they won't.
Yeah.
Very
This
right.
is one part is visual.
Maximum listening time that you can. Visuals we have to add. So there are many of the teachers who have added, like Ms. Tanmay, Ms. Divya Divedi, who are saying that, sir, we are giving individual projects as well as group projects. But tell us how we can make our online tests more interesting and effective. And they are asking as regard to senior students, because as you said, assessment is also very necessary. It is an integral part of learning. So how do they do it so that assessment is actually a concern for everyone nowadays in COVID?
All right. There is certain things which you need to understand is, at the moment we are trying to make some incremental changes. We are not making paradigm shifts. Situation is paradigm shift situation. We are doing incremental changes. For example, I told you about peer group assessment, and this is worldwide research proofs. They do the assessment better than the teachers.
You're right.
If any one of you interested, let me know. On phone, I'll give you the reference, or you can find out HATTIE, Hattie.
Yes, sir. Hattie.
His research is on 252 variables that are related to students' performance.
Mm-hmm.
So see what happens there. And the very first top factor is collective teacher efficiency. Not one or two or three. You may say, oh, I have got 5 teachers, very good. Nothing is going to happen. That does not make a great school. Collective teacher efficiency, but the very next one is peer group grading. That will help each other.
You're right. Peer group grading would be a good formative assessment kind of a thing for them to know, a self-assessment also for the kids, that whether they are learning or not. But at the end of the day, a teacher wants to know whether my child will be able to perform well in the board examination or not.
Right.
I think the teachers...
That is where I'll also feel helpless, because I can teach the principals and teachers, but I cannot teach a bureaucrat or a minister.
You're right.
Because after they have stopped learning, they have come to education.
And another thing,
what is important is let them get the confidence that they can perform. And also see what are the other performance. For example, when you give projects, you are actually talking of performance test. If some of you find time, please read out Seymour Papert Constructionism and see what kind of things they can develop so that you can make out their talents. Right now, I'm doing something with some of you know that I work with a village cluster where I belong to.
Yes.
I told, everybody was crying because Bengalis are very good in crying. Aap mein se koi to nahi hai na, Bengali? I said, why are you crying? This is a great opportunity. Bachche baithe hai, this is the right time to identify the talent. So I started a game. 6 line rhyme लिखना पड़ेगा बच्चों को, and 50. I got 70 books to give each child. Now the number of rhymes is 85.
Wow.
The students inspired the teachers, so 15 teachers have written poems. Right. Now I've started, next game is painting. About 30-35 paintings have come from primary school children, and we are going for an e-exhibition. Now they're making what I was talking about, constructionism. Is it visible, this picture? This is what they are doing now.
Okay. Some mobile they are made. That's what we could see. Okay.
This is what children are trying to do now.
Very nice.
These are actually not painting. These are constructing. With whatever material they can access, they are making things. Now, from there, would you be able to find some talent?
Very rightly said, sir.
The conventional problem and solution may not be there right now, but you need to build up other evidences of students learning and give them the confidence. But as I told you, as long as CBSE is there and they are there, they will be stuck to the conventional format. I mean, I told you, I told the government that in the name of MOOCs, what you are doing, you are just wasting money. and you can't believe hundreds of crores are wasted.
Right.
And Mr. Javadekar himself took the decision, these are not MOOCs. Now, why do you have to waste money and then learn? Anyway, anybody else? Yeah, Nirmal.
Nilma ma'am, you wish to ask something? You want to say something?
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir,
Okay.
for taking all our queries and the poems and all. I just remember in my school, we had started with some haiku and lantern poetry just to to finish the chapter. We would tell the students to write a small 4-line lantern poetry or something. So it really worked, especially with the younger ones. So I think we should take this more forward.
Yeah, the difference is because these are village children, you can see they cannot even know how to take a photograph.
Yes, sir.
These are my children.
Thank you, sir. And Dr.
Yeah.
Indu Khetrapal ma'am, please take over. And
So you continue with your meeting, and thank you.
Please.
Yeah. I think, is that fine now? Can I be heard?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir, for the insight. And online education future is online is fine, but it's for us teachers to make it relevant and meaningful, and not just, with closed eyes go about that we are doing something. I think that is one. And the book that Dr. Subhash Chandra has spoken about, I think it's worth trying it, because there are a lot of questions, and sometimes by sharing and discussing, a lot of things get sorted out. I think that is what I would say. So some of the schools may like to, as an experiment, it's an innovation, must try these things. And once again, sir, thank you very much. I am touched and
before you finally thank, let me ask a question. I'm also putting that as an e-book. The parenting,
right.
Because I'm not looking at local market or local parents. I'm looking for the world. So I'm going to put it onto as an e-book.
Could really work.
Because the work that should, and also Charu, this will be much cheaper. The printed book, what I'm seeing is will come nothing less than 200, 250 rupees per copy.
But that is also not much, sir. We all should have it in our libraries, I think.
No, it is meant for the parents, not for your
Everyone
library.
Should use it. Everyone should be using it.
Yeah, we will introduce the parents to that.
One of the president of a chain of school, I asked him, he said, parents will not buy. You can impress upon the principal. She should buy for all the parents and charge it from the parents as a fees of the school. And then distribute.
Gift it to them when they enroll their child into our schools or something, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so just information that I'm going to possibly put it on Kindle.
Okay.
Because my recent book has been put on Kindle by Sage. Last month, one of my book has come out. And that's on Kindle.
What's the title, sir?
Total Quality Management in Education is the 3rd edition. You might be already having the 2nd edition, but 3rd edition is completely revised and updated.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you once again, sir, Professor Mukhopadhyay and Dr. Subhash Chandra. Thank you, and thank you, Chairperson, Secretary, for all the hard work, the IT team, and all the participants for making the effort. Now, most important is the follow-up has to be done. Only then it works out. The follow-up to be done. What is the takeaway? What is the learning? And how much we've been able to absorb it, carry it forward. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of GPSC, I would like to thank both the speakers and as well as moderators. Thanks a lot for a wonderful session, sir. I'm really touched with your insights.
Thank you so much for the invitation. from at my myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.